we have to be mindful. And the most important thing is exercising gratitude.
Buckle up for the Jennifer Murphy GoGirl Show. Laugh, be inspired, discover your inner superhero.
Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Jennifer Murphy GoGirl Show. I have a very special guest here today, Jacqueline Ko. Jackie, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Well, why wouldn't I? You are such a go-girl. I mean, they call it the triple threat, but you're like a quadruple. I mean, you're a mom, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist. What else do you do?
You know what? I like to hang out with my friends and play the violin. I play the violin. I've been playing since I was 5.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. Well, let's dive right into Changing Humanity. That is how I met you, and we'll get to that. But tell us about what it is and what inspired you to found this organization.
Yeah, absolutely. So I started Changing Humanity about a year and a half ago. And it all started when my mom, 7 years ago, passed away from suicide. And yeah, that was really, really rough. You know, if anybody's ever gone through any mental, health issues with loved ones or people that they've known, it is devastating.
Yes, sure.
Words can't even describe that feeling. But just knowing what she went through prior to that, it was a lot of doctors and going to facilities. And when she passed away, it just ignited something in me wanting to make a change. And as time progressed, because this was 7 years ago, and I have 3 kids, as you mentioned, 15, 12, and 8, I started to see a rise in, not with my children, but in general, depression, suicide rates were increasing, and at a younger age. Even if you read the news, even if you hear about what's happening in the community. And what I saw was it's because technology is increasing, and kids aren't able to process that information coming to them in a way that adults can. So what dawned on me is that we need something preventative. We need to have a preventative program, and that is why Changing Humanity was born. And so it is a 501c3 nonprofit, and this nonprofit has developed a program called the H.U.M.A.N.I.T.Y program, and it's teaching kids the emotional resilience to be able to navigate through life's challenges. So Humanity stands for humility, understanding, mindfulness, acceptance, nurture, inclusive, trust, and you.
Wow.
Yeah.
I just got the chills. That's amazing. You look around these days and everyone's on their phone.
Yes.
Especially young people. And they grew up with that phone in their hand. Absolutely. And I'm thankful that, being second of 12 kids, growing up in the country, we didn't have the cell phones yet. I mean, internet was just starting. And
that's right.
I'm so thankful that I had the human connection and outdoors with my siblings and with other friends and going to country western dances and just, and these days it's not always like that. It's rarely like that. And then you see a lot of these kids, and I'm guilty of it myself. Well, I'll be on TikTok. I get sucked in
Me too.
for hours, and I have to force myself to take a break from social media. I create social media, so I love what you're doing.
Thank you.
I think the preventative is so important, and I want to learn more about it and how it works. Meeting you at your gala recently.
Yes.
Congratulations on your official launch in the public eye at the beautiful Balboa Bay Club Resort in Newport Beach. I mean, it was a class act, incredible event.
Thank you.
How did that feel?
Honestly, it felt absolutely amazing and surreal. And it was all of this time that we've been developing and just head down behind a computer having meetings. It felt incredible, and I got to meet so many beautiful people doing big things in the world. I got to meet you there.
Yeah.
And I always say you meet someone for a reason every single time. There's no mistake about it. People come into your life for a reason, and you have to trust that instinct. When you had that connection, I always want to personally follow that through and see why they came into my life.
I love it. And here we are. And
we are.
I want to get the message out to everyone about what you're doing and get you in the GoGirl Worldwide magazine and let the ladies all over the world know, and the Go guys too, and the young people to learn about what you're doing and see how they can get involved. You know, everybody could bring something to the table. So stay tuned to learn more about what Jackie does. I will say your event, I was really moved. I go to plenty of red carpet parties. I put on my own pink carpet parties, and often these upscale events, especially in Orange County, they're beautiful and glamorous and amazing food, and there's a charity involved and donations, but yours had such a heart and soul, incredible musicians on stage performing out of their heart, and then your slides and the information, the science, and your game plan. It's not just donate to this cause and we're going to try and, solve this or that. You're like, okay, here's how this is working. Here's what we're going to do. Here's our initial. I was really impressed. So good job with that.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
So I'd like to tell the viewers a little bit about what I learned the other night at your gala.
Absolutely.
The science and what you're doing and how you're going to help prevent youth mental challenges.
Sure. So like you mentioned at the gala, our first ever gala, which was, so nice to feel that and have it be sold out. So that was absolutely incredible.
And you were stunning and
Thank you.
Wonderful on stage.
I appreciate that. Yeah. So the whole premise of it was to show, because our program is based on neuroscience. So we're going to get into a little discussion about neuroplasticity and how important that is in child development. We focused on music because music is one of the most important things that need to be woven into child development. And oftentimes with programs that are focused on mental wellness, that is overlooked. And it has a lot to do with frequency and hertz, which can help neural pathways change. So I'll dive into that in just a little bit. The last thing is mindfulness. So mindfulness practices, and I do this myself every day, practicing gratitude, meditations, and just really staying grounded, especially in this time right now. Like you mentioned before, childhood is very, very different than what we had. I feel like I was on the cusp, and I don't know if that's the same for you.
Yes.
But around high school was when cell phones came out. I think it was the StarTech. Actually, I know it was the StarTech because I begged my dad for it, and he got it from me. But yeah, I mean, we didn't have access to information. There wasn't Google on your phone. It was just plain phone calls,
right?
And maybe a text. But now it is just an influx of information coming through. And so this preventative program that we've developed with music, neuroscience, and mindfulness. So with this program, with the gala actually, we wanted to make sure that the people attending understood, kind of got a sense of what the Humanity program entailed. Mm-hmm. So it was really, really important to me that I showcased exactly what we were going to be teaching our teens. So yes, music was a big part of it. We had some amazing musicians. Wesley Gear, who was the guitarist from Korn. We have David Kim, who is the electric violinist pioneer. And I believe he went viral in 2005 for playing Pachelbel's Canon, the entire, not orchestra, but he played every single element of the Pachelbel's Canon.
Wow.
And he's been on big stages before.
So good.
So good, right? Yeah, he played for Richard Branson twice this year.
Wow.
And yeah, Wesley has Rock to Recovery, which is sound for healing for people in rehab centers. And everyone has a story. Yeah. There's a reason why you start something. And Evolve from Sonic Branding, Evolve Legacy, she created all of the sound and music that you heard, when I walked up. When we played certain videos, she created all of that sound. And there was a specific reason why she created that sound. It was to open up your neural pathways, and she used specific frequency, hertz, and there's a whole science behind it that her company does. And Elle Blink was the singer, and my gosh, her voice is just, it transcends angelic. Yeah. And she does a lot of sound bowls and meditations. And so that is part of the work that she's bringing into this world. I could talk forever about the lineup that we had.
It was incredible.
It was.
I don't know how you
yeah.
pulled it all together. I know you have a great team and share board. I've known Yvonne for years.
Oh, that's great.
And
see, 6 degrees of separation.
I know.
That's crazy.
She's been a DJ, my GoGirl DJ at a GoGirl Pink Carpet event.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. She's
Okay.
wonderful. She's helped teach some GoGirl yoga classes. Like, she's very dynamic.
Everyone is so versatile.
Right.
You know, and like I said, you meet people for a reason every time. And all of these people that were musicians and speakers, I met directly. So lucky enough, I was able to meet all the people in my life. And I love your title, Go Girl, you know, because I am never hesitant to ask. Because my mother always said, if you want something, ask, do it.
Yeah.
So meeting Dr. May at a group I belong to and Dr. Erwin Valencia. Dr. May Rue was a speaker at the summit in Cabo. I met her last November. And she gave a presentation in front of 400 people. And it was about neuroscience and how music heals. And she works at MD Anderson and founded Music for Healing, or Healing in Music. Okay. And so that is
perfect alignment.
Perfect alignment. And she prescribes music to cancer patients for healing. And I just thought it was absolutely incredible. You saw her presentation. Yes. Right?
So good.
Yeah.
Amazing. And even for the doctors getting ready to do a surgery, if they have the right music prior, then they perform better. And there's so many fascinating things about this. Yeah. But you know, on a human level, for me, I was blown away with the science, but to hear your story about losing your mother, and I recently lost my brother Scott. You know, and I want to say to anybody listening, don't be afraid. Like Jackie was saying, you know, make it happen. Go for it. Reach out. Changing humanity. That's an action word. Changing. Go, girl. Just do it. Like if you're at an event or you're out and about or there's somebody you want to meet, don't be afraid to reach out to them, because you might feel a little intimidated, but you never know what could happen. And then you can make amazing things happen. And so I'm at this event and I'm thinking, well, everyone wants Jackie's ear, but I'm going to go for it. And I had the right opportunity to come up to you, and I was very moved. And I said, if only my brother could have gone through your program, you know, struggling with his depression and his emotional, such a sweetheart, born on Valentine's Day, Scott, you know, and he loved music. And we grew up in a family with music, and my dad played guitar every day and sang, and you know, I do my music. And I told you, hey, I want to be Ninja Lady.
I love your music, by the way.
It's
so beautiful. You have a beautiful voice.
Thank you. So I love making music, and I love spreading joy with that music. And so for me, I'm like, I love what this woman's doing. And so I'm glad that I wasn't afraid to approach you, and here we are. And I just want to do whatever I can to help get the word out there. And so, and you're originally from New York, from Jersey.
I am, yes.
And so now you've been on the West Coast for how long?
About, I would say 13, almost 14 years.
Wow.
Yeah, so I've been here in California about 14 years in Orange County. I moved here when I had my first daughter. Then I had my second daughter here, and my third, which is my son.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you've been building relationships and rapport with people for years on the East Coast, now on the West Coast. And now once you started Changing Humanity, you just picked up the phone and started making some calls.
Phone, face-to-face,
Yeah.
in your face, emails, whatever it took, you know. And some of the speakers I'm going to talk about, I mean, they would describe me probably as relentless, because I just email, phone call, and what did that yield was them being on the stage at the gala. So, and I want to applaud you too about you always going after it. That is the confidence portion that we want to teach children.
Absolutely.
And it's so important, you know, to build that confidence, to build that self-love. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't come from who's around you, you know, whoever is raising you. This program, this preventative program, goes back to letting kids understand who they are as a human being and understanding that it's okay to speak up. It's okay to, we all see the world differently. Everything that we process is a different perspective of this world. And so understanding that and understanding that life is a game, the game of life. And Dr. Erwin Valencia, who was on the stage, he is so powerful in his message that we need to stay grounded. We have to be mindful. And the most important thing is exercising gratitude. So it might be common knowledge to people, but oftentimes you'll find that it is not common knowledge to the next generation.
Right.
They're mostly sitting in instant gratification and understanding that there are so many things to be grateful for, and being present actually will help them with their mental wellness. And so what he is teaching, we're going to be integrating into this Humanity program.
So I want to say a quick thank you to our sponsor, Miss Commando. So Miss Commando is an amazing goat milk based skincare line.
Ooh.
It is all natural. It's like sometimes you just want to go commando and feel free.
Absolutely.
Feel spirited. And,
I love that.
So this is all clean. It smells delicious, and it's so good for your skin. I also have the charcoal soap. So anytime I'm getting a little bit of breakouts, I use that charcoal soap. And then I follow up with the Commando balm and the Commando face cream. So if you want to go commando, if you're feeling kind of ready to go clean, then click the link below and you'll get the GoGirl discount. Thank you, Miss Commando.
And then we have Dr. May Rue, who I mentioned earlier, started music and medicine at MD Anderson. And you saw her on the grand piano on the stage, right? She is a world-class concert pianist, and I think won the 2025 bronze world medalist. Played for the Louvre, just incredible. You heard it yourself, and what was cool about it was that she can show with the helmet, the brain scan. You can see how the brain is reacting to certain music. And so what she wanted to show was certain soft sounds creates relaxing neurons in the brain. And when she starts playing, different unpredictable sounds, it starts to spike, So with that said, that ties back to neuroplasticity.
Okay.
And that,
cool.
Yeah, so that is, neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to form connections. So new neural pathways can be created. And in their team formative years, you're still able to, it's still more plastic. So as you grow as a child, the no's, the don'ts, whoever's raising you, your community, what you absorb, you're already creating neural pathways. The neurons in your brain, the grooves get so deep as you get older that it's hard to see outside of that. And what we want to do is be able to, through music and neuroscience and studies and education, teach these kids that it's not too late to form those new pathways, and we integrate it through music. So it's that repetitive motion of meditation, gratitude, music, and they start to hear it, and not just hear it, but we say it. This is going to allow you to feel calmer, to be more open-minded, to understand that you can do it. Because I hear a lot of that negative mindset now, and they say it's because of access to information. And so there's body image issues, there's confidence issues. 95% of adolescents have some form of access to technology.
And if you scroll, you see perfect lives. You see everybody looking like a 10 and they're flying on jets. It's like, my life sucks. That's how young people can feel. And it's not the reality, but it's their reality. It's making them insecure and depressed. And I love what you're talking about. You know, it's a funny memory that it made me flash back to creating new pathways. We used to go down to this, we called it the Secret Beach in Oregon, and we'd hike down, and then there was this waterfall coming off into the beach, into the sand, making its way to the ocean. And all of us kids, we would get all our shovels and pails, and we would dig a new pathway for the creek. And then we would basically get the creek to completely shift and go in a new pathway to the ocean. And it was so fun.
I like that.
So anyway, that was just like, you know, the fact that you can show these kids and teach these kids, not just by telling them, but helping them learn how to do it.
Yep.
Because things aren't always just innate. And like you say, if you're used to somebody telling you no, or you're feeling depressed, oh, just dig out of that. Well, it's not easy to dig out of a dark hole when you're depressed. I've been there before, and I had to make changes in my life.
Yeah.
And it was through courses I took and people I was able to reach out to. So I think it's really, really important what you're doing.
Yeah, I think the visual that you just gave with the creek and actually digging that new path was the perfect example for creating new neural pathways in the brain. That's the perfect visual. So
Okay, cool. I like to dumb things down.
yeah, that was perfect. And I'm a visual person, you know. Sometimes when my kids are stressed or my friends are stressed, I say, okay, we'll take a deep breath. Nothing's the end of the world. There's always a way to solve it as long as you allow your brain to understand that there is a way out. There is a solution. There's a solution every single time.
Yeah.
And I like to tell my kids we're in the solutions business, you know, and they're like, well, I can't do it. I'm like, no, we're in the solutions business. So we're going to have to figure out how we're going to do this. How are we going to create positive change? Right. So think of a solution instead of sitting in the problem.
I think it might be part of why people gravitate to my ninja songs so much. I have many songs, but I want to be ninja. I'm going to be ninja. I'm almost a ninja. I'm finally, you know, and it shows the progression, but it took work. It took effort. It took sometimes falling down, but getting back up and knowing though that you can get there and not giving up and not thinking it's instant gratification like you talked about. So, and of course I loved, you know, the comedy stuff, but my ninja song, as I've mentioned to you, it turned into a feature film, and not just magically, but I decided to create a movie. And then I decided to go for big music, classical music for this comedy, because I love beautiful music. And I was able to, I met this composer, H.U.M.A.N.I.T.Y. He's in Monaco. Yeah. He is world renowned. And so he composed the entire score for my movie. And we worked with the Budapest Orchestra.
Wow.
60-person
I love that.
40-person choir.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
Yes. I had a whole army of musicians. And so the whole soundtrack for my film is, I think it's award winning. And then at the very end, my song, Fly Zone, the whole message is it's time to fly. And the joy is in giving. Yeah. And so you're flying, you're making it happen, you're giving, you're paying it forward. How does that make you feel?
It feels amazing. And something that you said, what you just said, was super powerful. I decided, and then I decided, and then I did it, and it feels great.
And you're still doing it.
Yes.
Every day, you know, you're a mom, you have your other businesses, your companies, and you work in LED, and, you know, you're a go-getter for sure, but you carved out time and you made it happen. And so what would you say to anyone out there, a young woman, a guy, maybe a single mom who's a little hesitant to like start something that they're thinking about?
Well, you can do anything you put your mind to. And that's what I was always taught. So I decided to start this nonprofit, Changing Humanity, because I want kids in the next generation to be able to have that self-resilience to navigate life's challenges. I think that's going to be really, really important for the next generation, especially with all of that technology happening. And what is it that I want to do? Again, I have the other businesses, but I also want to make a social impact in this world, because what good is money if you can't give back? And this is my way of giving back, because it's personal, it's meaningful, especially what happened with my mother. So I want this to be a preventative so that kids don't have to face that in the future. They have purpose, they have meaning, and they have intention. And I want kids to grow up and say, I decided, like you did, I decided, and then it happened. Because when you decide something or you want something, you can do it. It's about opening up those neural pathways and understanding that there are no boundaries. There are no boundaries. Yes.
Go girl.
Yeah, there are no boundaries.
And you go out there, you go girl or go guy. I love that. Now, how can people follow you, connect with you, get involved? What are some of your links and domains?
Yeah, so you can find the nonprofit Changing Humanity on www.changinghumanitycorp.com. You can also email me directly. I'm happy to receive anybody that wants to volunteer. If you're a neuroscientist, if you're a psychologist, if you're a mental wellness expert, we are a community of volunteers. So everything that we've developed is all volunteer-based so far. We also have Chapman University interns, all majoring in what I just said. So yeah, contact me at Jax, J-A-X, at changinghumanitycorp.com. And you can also find us on Instagram, changing_humanity_corp. So I would love to have, anybody reach out.
And you accept donations, big or small?
Yes, we accept donations, and that's right on the website. And any donation in any amount would help us tremendously. We plan on, after the gala that just happened last week, we plan on implementing this program to a few youth organizations to start. It will have music, and it will have education and speakers, and it will be a one-day immersive program. So anything the listeners can do would be so much appreciated, and very grateful for that.
I love it. Well, as when you said your email, so Jax, J-A-X, I love that that's your nickname from high school,
Yes.
right? I also love the fact that you're Jackie Ko,
Yes.
K-O, which stands for knockout. Isn't she a knockout? I think you're a knockout.
Thank you. That is so sweet.
So don't knock me out. I mean, I'm a ninja, but I could
You're
probably,
beautiful and powerful.
Got my
and
boxing gloves back there.
Yes, you
so.
do.
So I
Yeah.
love it. I love your message.
Thank
and
you.
Thank you for going for it and making a difference. And I think you're going to make so much positive change. I mean, look at what you've already amassed as, this snowball effect, and you're just going to continue to expand and go global with this, because I think kids all over the world need this.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
And it's about holding hands. So collaboratively, anybody in my circle, we hold hands and uplift one another to our highest potential.
I love
And so grateful that I got to meet you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I'm going to have you back on, because
I
we
would
didn't
love
have
to.
time to talk about everything.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the Jennifer Murphy Go Girl Show. Oh, I almost forget. I always ask, what is your inner superhero power? What would you say yours is?
I would say connecting
Okay.
and understanding humans on a soul level. So when I meet somebody, I can already sense what it is that they need, what it is that they want, and I try and foster that. I try and pull out what they want and their special skills.
Love that.
Yeah.
I am sorry, I almost forgot to ask you such an important question.
No worries. Yeah, I'm
little
glad you
forgetful
did. I'm glad
sometimes.
you asked. Thank you.
Okay, now we can wrap it up here on the Jennifer Murphy Go Girl Show. See you next time.
You
go,
girl.
Tune in next time for the Jennifer Murphy Go Girl Show. You won't want to miss it.